Hey everybody. Hi, hello, happy Friday. It's Friday for me, wherever and whenever you are. First class of 2017 for me, and good to see you. Happy New Year. If I haven't wished you a Happy New Year yet this year, happy 2017. Good morning. Lots of familiar people in the chat. Happy New Year. Yeah, it's Thursday for some of you. Cool. Yeah, Happy New Year. Merry Christmas if you're in Ukraine or Russia or anywhere else that celebrates the Orthodox Christmas, right? Today's Christmas Eve in Ukraine, I believe, so Merry Christmas. And Happy Friday if you don't celebrate that particular Christmas. Yeah, lots of people here. Stephen, French Leo, Soul is here. Lots of new faces, new names and stuff too, yeah. Abdullah's here, Christina. Yeah, cool. I saw somebody from Colombia is here too, yeah? I think Gustavo. Vivek is here, Chari. Zach is in the chat, friendly moderator Zach is in there to help me out. So yeah, new year. A few changes, obviously, okay? So this is my first class teaching this level as a live class. Obviously, I have taught this level before. Anthony's in Quebec City. Cool, I'm going to Quebec City next month in February. I'm excited. I haven't been there in a long time. Turkey, India. All right. Okay, so some of you guys know me from my other class, right? If you don't know me, I'm Shaun. I'm going to be your teacher for the next hour, okay? Anyone who has been in my other classes knows that I usually teach kind of a higher level lesson, right? Kind of low advanced, some complicated stuff. But today, and for a while, I'm going to be teaching an intermediate level class. Wow, we've got Egypt, Ecuador, Brazil, Russia, Jordan. Wow. My coffee is hot, my water is cold, I'm ready to go. Yeah. Dominican Republic. So many people. You like my haircut? Thank you. Yeah, I think it's an okay haircut. 2017 haircut. Okay. So because this is an intermediate level class, I'm probably going to be speaking a little bit slower than usual, maybe. I'm going to be maybe taking more time to explain things, okay? So I'm not going to speak too slowly because I think it's good listening practice if you're speaking, if I'm speaking naturally, okay? So if you have questions throughout the class, if you miss something that I say, put your questions in the chat, and I'll try to answer them as quickly and as often and as best as I can, okay? I'm also not going to speak too slowly because obviously this lesson becomes a video and you can rewatch the video 100 times if you need to, okay? I don't know if I recommend watching it 100 times. But yeah, lots of people here. This is great. Okay, so let's jump into this lesson here, okay? Let me start. What are we looking at here today? There we go. Here I am. Okay, so a couple things before we get started. It's a new year. I thought I'd talk about my feelings of January 2017. So I like this time of year. I like the end of one year and the beginning of another year, if for no other reason, because a lot of really good movies are released in the theater, in the cinema. It's a good time of year to go and see movies because they wait and put out the kind of the big movies or the really good movies around Christmas time here in North America. And I like to go to the movies in January. Obviously it's cold, it's dark, and there are lots of good movies. You're asking me how I pronounce my name? Yeah, it's the same as S-E-A-N and S-H-A-W-N. It's all the same. It's Shaun. Rhymes with John. Yeah? It is cold in Canada, Victor. Yes, it is very cold today. Obviously not as cold in Vancouver, where I am, as in other parts. Okay? Zach wants me to type something into the chat. Zach, for some reason, I can't. Okay? I can't type anything into this chat window, Zach, just so you know. So maybe somebody can help me out with that at some point, okay? But for now, I'm gonna keep on keeping on here. So, as I said, I'm in Vancouver, in Canada, at the Canadian College of English Language in downtown Vancouver. And at this time of year, I like to go to the movies, but I haven't seen Rogue One yet. I'd like to see the new Star Wars movie. I grew up with Star Wars movies. I've watched them all, except for this one. I haven't seen this one yet. I don't know if anybody out there has seen it, if you would recommend it or not. But I haven't seen it yet. I'll probably end up seeing it this week. Okay, but today I'm not talking about movies today. Okay. Let's talk about actually one thing another kind of feeling I have in the new year. At this time, January, the winter, it's cold, it's dark. I usually feel like I want to get away sometimes, take a vacation. Can I keep going, or do I have to stop and let you
keep going?
Yeah, I can keep going? Okay. You can say hi to Julian, everybody. Yeah, he's going to fix my chat here, okay? You guys are going to the movies? Good. So one thing I like to kind of try to do sometimes in the wintertime is get away. I like to travel, okay? I like to get away from the cold and the darkness of the Canadian winter and travel. And what I would like to do today to start off, I want to give you a bit of a test. What is going on here? We're getting some technical issues here, guys.
Everybody relax.
Everybody just, it's fine. I'm gonna drink my water.
Go back a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Ruin anything?
You haven't ruined anything yet, Julian. No, not yet. I'm just gonna drink my coffee and relax. As I said, this is my first class of 2017. I think this is also the beginning of my first cold of 2017 too. Yeah, see what I mean? So just open up the one in Smrt, and I'll just use that one. Forget about the other one. No. So this is our first technical problem of 2017.
It is.
Yeah?
Our first technical.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good to get these things out of the way.
Nothing's
right?
perfect.
Well, nothing's perfect in life.
All right. Type in there. All right.
Yeah? Cool.
Good to go.
All right. Awesome. Okay. All right. Thank you, Julian. And we're back. Okay. So here's what I want to do. I want to give you guys a test. I want to see how well you can identify cities and countries. I'm going to show you some pictures of places that I have visited. I've taken some photos from my Facebook page, and I've put them up here. I'm going to quickly show you some photographs from my Facebook account, and I want you to see if you can tell me some of the places that I have visited. Okay? All right. And Talak, you're asking a question about when do we use the present perfect? Well, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'll get to that. Okay, so the question is, where has Shaun been? What countries or cities has Shaun visited? Are you guys ready? Because I'm going to go fast. Okay? All right, here we go. Okay, so the question is, where has Shaun been? What countries have I visited? How many of those places did you recognize? Shubham says France. That's right. I've been to France. I've been to Paris. Christina recognized New York City. That's right. I've been to New York City. Jundi recognizes Istanbul. Good. I've been to Istanbul 2 times. Great city. I love Istanbul. Chari recognized London. I've been to London. Good. What else? Anybody else? Donnie D recognized Greece. Yeah, the first one that I showed, that was Greece. I've been to Athens. There, yeah. Where else? Mohammed says Russia. Victor says Russia. That's right. Yeah, one of those pictures was from Russia. I've been to many places in Russia. Actually, took a long trip in Russia. Did we miss any other ones? A couple of them were kind of tricky, I think. What's this one? Russia. I've been to Russia. I've been to London. That's New York City. This one's a tricky one. The graffiti one. Yeah, where's that? Does anyone recognize that? Where have I been? Abdullah says Shaun, Superman. Yeah, Superman or Spider-Man. I can't decide which one. Rahaf loves New York. Yeah, I love New York too. This one's Rome. This is Italy here. I've been to Italy. Rosa says Japan. I've only been to the airport in Japan. I've never been anywhere else in Japan. This, I don't know if anybody got it, but this was a tricky one, obviously, because it's just one building, right? But this is Berlin in Germany. Okay, so I have traveled to Berlin as well. I've spent a month in Berlin. Christina, you've got Cinque Terre. Good for you. And that was my son. Yes, my son has been to many of these places as well. when he was a baby, we took him everywhere because he was light and easy to carry and free to travel. All right, so yeah, there he is there. All right, Russia. Guten Tag, French Leo. Yeah. Okay, so why am I asking these questions? Well, I guess the important question is, what question was I asking, right? What was my question? I do love to travel. You're asking how old my son is now? Well, that was my oldest son, and he's going to be 6 years old at the end of this month. He's a big boy now, right? And if he's cute, of course he's cute, right? His father, right here. Okay. So the reason I'm asking you these questions is, I was talking about experience, right? I was saying, where have I been, right? I have traveled to Berlin, exactly. Diari, you got it. Where has Shaun been? And the reason I'm asking this question is that today, as most of you know, the focus of the lesson is the present perfect, right? The present perfect, no time mentioned. Right, exactly. Where has Shaun been? Jundi, good. Okay. So today we are going to focus on the present perfect tense. Now this is a tense that gives a lot of students trouble because in some languages, the present perfect tense does not exist, right? I mean, we saw a picture. I've been to Russia. Anybody who speaks Russian in the chat can tell me if I'm wrong, but I think there is no present perfect in the Russian language, right? Milena, you love this tense? I love this tense too. But other people, it drives them crazy. A lot of other students scream why to the clouds, right? Okay. But this is our focus for today, and probably even next week, because there are a lot of different rules and uses of the present perfect, okay? So today, we're going to look at the present perfect, more specifically, what we call the indefinite past. The indefinite past is what we're looking at. Right, so Milena is confirming that there is no present perfect in Russian. I thought so. Good. Okay, so as I said, today we're going and looking at present perfect, which for many of you is something you have studied. Present perfect. You have studied this before. You have studied this for years. But you may still have trouble with it, okay? So we're going to try to help you with that. It's difficult for Brazilians as well, Isabella? Yeah, I think it's difficult for everybody. The question, who is that guy behind me? Oh, maybe before, hopefully. Yeah, before that was Julian. He's in charge of all the technical stuff with Smrt. I'm just the face. He's in control, right? Hopefully there's nobody behind me right now because I can't see him. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do before we get into that is let's talk about this word, indefinite. Indefinite. Okay? Indefinite, when talking about time, indefinite time, that means you don't know when, okay? And you don't know how long, okay? If you're talking about indefinite time, when you don't know, how long you don't know, you say it's not specific. The time is not specific, okay? Donnie D says Julian is a nice guy. Yeah, he's a nice guy. He has his moments for sure. And Rose is one step ahead of me. So she's non-specific, right? So indefinite, time, not specific. You don't know when. You don't know how long. So oftentimes you may see this indefinitely as an adverb, meaning a non-specific length of time. If you say, for example, I will teach this intermediate class. I will teach this intermediate class indefinitely, meaning I don't know for how long I will teach this class, okay? Just into the future, but we don't know. So when we talk about indefinite past, the thing to remember about present perfect is that, as I said, we don't know the time. We don't know when, and we don't know for how long necessarily. Okay? So this is what our focus is for today. All right. So this, for example, let me jump into this. They say, I haven't heard this album yet. Have you? And the person says, yes, I have. I have heard it. It's really good. So in this exchange, in these sentences, they're talking about an action in the past, heard, right? The here is in the past, but we don't know when. It doesn't matter when, okay? We just know it's in the past, but there's still a connection to the present. And this is what I'm going to explain today. This is what we're going to focus on, okay? Now, I don't know how many of you actually hang out in record stores. Maybe this is a bit of an old-fashioned idea, but you should. Records are cool, man. Okay, so let's talk about what is kind of the formula for the present perfect. Now, I know, again, for a lot of you guys, you have studied this before. So you know that the present perfect, to make the present perfect, you need the subject plus have or has, right? Have or has, plus the past participle, right? What we call the past participle, or some of you guys call it PP, which always makes me giggle like a little boy when you do that. Okay. I haven't heard that album yet. I've never heard this album before. Hideki saying, I haven't heard this album yet. I've never heard this album before. Is it the same meaning? No, it's not. And that's a really good question. And let's remember that question. Let's come back to that, because that's a different meaning, and that's exactly what we're going to look at today. Noel's asking me if I like coffee. Yeah, I like coffee. Yeah. I like Brazilian coffee too. Yeah. Okay, so this is the formula, right? Have, has, plus your past participle. Now, again, just a bit of a review here. What do we mean by past participle, right? What's a past participle? Well, every verb has kind of three forms, right? The past participle is the third form of your verb. So if you have a simple verb like eat, right? Present is eat, past, ate, and the past participle is eaten, So that is your past participle here. All right. Give me some examples of some other past participles in the chat, if you can think of some. Whoops. Let me go here. What else can we say? If I say, for example, bring, what's the past participle of that? Okay, you got eaten there. Yep, good. I'll give you another one. Take. Forget. All right. Yeah, good. So a lot of these are words that you use a lot. So am, is, are, was, were, and the past participle would be been or been. Drink, drank, drunk. Come, came, come. Break, broke, broken. Yeah, good. Right, so bring, brought. Whoop. And then I have brought. Good. Take, took. You guys got it. Taken. Taken is the past participle. Cut, cut, cut. Yeah, good. Good. All right, forgot. Forgotten. Whoops. Oh my. There we go. Forgotten. And of course, have becomes had in the past, and the past participle is also had. Okay. Now these are all examples of irregular verbs. Irregular verbs, right? Obviously, for the regular verbs, the past and the past participle are going to be the same, right? If I say play, played, and played, it's the same here and here. It's just your ed ending, okay? So when we say past participle, like woke, wake, woke, woken, that's a good one. These verbs, this third form is what we're talking about, okay? And that's the present perfect. Have or has plus one of this type of verb here. Fly, flew, flown. Seesaw, seen. Good. Hit, hit, hit. Good stuff. You guys are good at this. All right. So this is the present perfect. Let's talk about kind of how it is formulated. How do you use it? Let me show you here. Okay? Because again, I'm seeing in the chat, we don't have to spend much time today on the actual sentence structure. I think you guys have learned this before. We'll just focus a little bit on kind of how and when you use it. But this is the basic structure. Vivek says, I've cut my finger. I hope that's not true. But if it is true, stop the bleeding, put pressure on your finger, and then come back to class. Okay? So for affirmative or positive and negative sentences, you obviously have a subject here. I, you, we, they would take have, and then your past participle here. Okay? He, she, it has. That's the little difference there. Whoops. Let me turn this guy on. He has, but the participle is the same for all subjects. Okay? The verb have is where the change is, okay, depending on the subject. So you have, it has. Okay, a common little mistake. Service is saying she has not eaten breakfast today. Right. They have had breakfast today. Okay, so this is the basic statement with the present perfect, right, or a negative sentence. Right, yeah, good. Shubham is saying, I haven't had my dinner. Right. Well, I haven't had my dinner either, but it's because it's 9:30 in the morning. Okay, and questions, again, you have that inverted order like you do in most questions, okay? So the verb have or has is at the beginning, right? You start with the helping verb, follow it by the subject, and then the participle. So have you eaten breakfast today? Have you eaten lunch? Vivek, have you stopped the bleeding in your finger? Okay. Hopefully. Have you taken my suggestion? All right. So as I said, we're not going to spend much time on the structure of the sentence because I think you guys have learned this before in an intermediate or even before intermediate. You learn this type of thing. I have killed the apple. That's interesting. Okay. So let's talk about the use. Okay, let's talk about how we use this. The past and the present. So the present perfect is all about, as I said at the beginning of class, it's about something from the past, an action in the past being connected to the present in some way. It's not just in the past. There is some kind of connection between the past and the present. Okay, so past action, present time. That's the basic idea of the present perfect. Okay, so we use it to connect the past with the present. We use it when we think the past and present are working together. So let's look at a couple examples here. Tanya's saying, what's the difference between present perfect and past perfect? Those are quite different, and that would take an entire class for me to explain that. But we'll come back to past perfect. That's a good question, Tanya. Okay. Right, French Leo saying it's called the present perfect, but it's a past tense. I mean, it's definitely connected to the past, absolutely. So examples like, they have met Jim. I haven't seen Chris this morning, and I'm going to be late. There's been an accident. So these sentences, the verb in the sentence, the action, may have happened in the past, but there's still a connection to the present, okay? Or it doesn't really matter what the time is. So when you say they have met Jim, you're saying that you don't know when, and maybe you don't care when. It doesn't matter when they met him, right? But they have, at some point in the past, indefinite past, they have met him, okay? This last one here, I'm going to be late, there's been an accident. In this case, I'm using a past action to explain the present. So now, present, I'm late, okay? I'm going to be late now. And the reason is in the past, okay? There's been an accident in the past. And that's the connection. And Rosa's saying the action is more important than the time. Yeah, that's good. Good. Vivek is saying you've never seen that red thing on screen before? This thing? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how much I like that. But it's just down here, a little highlighter. I'm not a huge fan of that. I haven't used it much before, I don't think. And Chari, that's right. The past action has a result today. Stephen's saying I'm using a fireball. Yeah, it looks like it. One of those fire dancers, right? Okay. So again, let's get in depth here. Okay. So the finished past action is connected to the present, but it's not important when the action happened, as we said. Okay. So as I said, it's connected to now. So let's look at some examples. So Peter hasn't arrived yet. When I say Peter hasn't arrived yet, my point, what I'm trying to say is presently he's not here. Okay? He hasn't arrived yet. He's not here now. So the verb arrived is the past, technically, but the point I'm making is he's not here. Okay? Or I haven't checked my email. My point is, I don't know if I have any email. So if somebody says, did you receive my email? I would say, I don't know. I haven't checked. So now I don't know because of the past action. All right? And again, if you guys have questions, put them in there. He has not experienced an accident so far. Right. Vivek, I would say he still, maybe I think you mean still there, he still has not come back. Okay? He still has not come back. But we don't use the present perfect, okay, if we're not thinking about the present. But before I get to that, again, how about this? I'll go into the notes. So just to be clear, what I'm saying here is that we use the present perfect to explain something about the present, okay? So you can't see me now. Okay? No one can see me now. Right? The question is, why can't you see Shaun? Why can't you see Shaun? Okay? You can't see Shaun because Shaun has disappeared from the screen. Okay, so this is the past. I disappeared from the screen. Okay? And that is why now you can't see me. Okay? And of course, if I come back, which I will now, okay, I'm back now, I have reappeared. So now you can see me. Okay? So we use this present perfect, as I said, to connect past and present. Right, there you go. Subas has said, because he has turned off the camera. Or because he has had a technical problem. Yeah, that's good. All right. Because he's become John Cena. Oh my God. I hope not. I hope you don't think I look like John Cena. That guy's huge. Okay. All right, so let's get back in here and talk about the usage. Okay. So, up to now, we often use the present perfect with certain words that mean up until this point. Now, Nitesh, you wouldn't say he's got vanished. You'd say he has vanished. He has vanished. Okay? So look at these. These words are words that we use with the present perfect because these words connect the past and the present. Okay? Words like never and before and yet and lately and just. All right, he's a ghost? Yeah, maybe. Okay, so some of these are important to understand because they've got little kind of complex meanings to them that sometimes students have trouble with. Yet is an important little word to fully understand. What is yet? So what did I say at the beginning of class about Rogue One? About Rogue One, Star Wars, I said, I haven't seen Rogue One yet. Okay? I haven't seen Rogue One yet. Now, when you say this little word yet, you're talking about kind of an expectation. Okay? If somebody says, I haven't seen Rogue One yet, that means that I think I will see it at some time. I'm expecting to see Rogue One in the future, but I haven't. Up until now, I have not seen it. Okay? Neither has Hideki. It would be strange to say, if you said, I haven't seen what? I haven't seen Titanic. I haven't seen Titanic yet, is a weird thing to say. Because you have had 20 years, I think. I think Titanic is 20 years old. All right? Surbest, are you asking a question? Oh, that's an example. I have not solved the question yet. Right, exactly. So when we use the word yet, we're talking about expectation. We think something's going to happen, okay? If I say, for example, have you finished yet? Right? Have you finished yet? I haven't learned English yet from Painkiller. Good. All right. So again, have you finished yet? I'm expecting you to say maybe yes or that you're almost finished. Now Vivek, okay. I'm going to put Vivek's sentence up here just as an example. So be careful of this. I have never seen my girl in the last few days. Now, you don't want to be using this here, this text, and this at the same time, okay? Those two expressions don't work together because never means never, right, in your life, okay? So you could take that out and just say, I haven't seen my girl in the last few days, which is too bad. Okay. Husam is saying, Shaun, how can we use yet in questions? Well, like this, have you finished yet? Or my question to you guys was, have you seen Rogue One yet? Right? Have you seen Rogue One yet? But again, I would not say, have you seen Titanic yet? Because it's very, very old, okay? And it changes it a little bit. There's not the expectation. I would just say, have you seen? I would say, have you ever seen Titanic? Okay. All right. Now, knowledge is free. You're talking about yet in a different way, as a conjunction. Okay? But yes, that does work. Now, kind of like so far as well, guys. When you say so far, I have, what can you say about so far? I have understood you so far. Okay, so again, you're using the present perfect here with this time expression, meaning up until now. I don't know if I will understand you after now. But the past, up until now, you would say so far. Can we use still in questions? Kind of. Yeah, you can use still sometimes in questions. Not always connected to the present perfect, though. If I say, are you still married? Well, that's a weird question. Don't ask that. Are you still here? Right? Are you still watching me? Okay. She has not recognized me so far. Good one. Good one. Right. So yet and already. So okay, for example, this is a good time to talk about already and yet. Okay? So resolutions. Every year at New Year's, people make resolutions, meaning they decide to change something in the coming year. It's kind of like you make a promise to yourself, okay, to change something. Like, for example, I will quit smoking, for example, as a resolution this year. That's not a great one because I don't. Oh, how about this? I will exercise more in 2017. This is a resolution, okay? So I've decided to exercise more. And Christina, you're ahead of me here, right? They have not broken their resolutions yet, all right? So you say, have you broken your resolution yet? Question. Or I have already broken my resolution. Okay? And it's only the first week of 2017, and I have already broken my resolution to exercise more. For example, of course, what are some things that you have already done in 2017? Give me some examples in the chat. Or what's something that you haven't done yet in this new year? It's only one week into the 2017. Give me an example. What have you not done yet? French Leo, I haven't stopped smoking. I would say I haven't, well, maybe, depends on your meaning. I haven't stopped to smoke so far. You've had coffee? Yeah, good. Good one, me too. What else have you done already in 2017? Or what is something you haven't done yet? Okay. What is something well, as I said, it's 2017. I have already started to get my first cold of the year, When you have kids, it's just a constant cycle of colds. I haven't written my resolution yet. Good. Good. I have already finished my homework, Nitesh. Good. Selma says, I haven't started learning Russian yet. Okay, this is good. This is a good example from Selma. I haven't started learning Russian yet. Okay? I haven't started learning Russian yet. Now, when she says yet, I know that that means she plans to learn Russian, but she has not done it yet, up until now. I have not talked to my girlfriend yet. Well, it's already a week into the year. You should give her a call. I haven't been to the gym. Me neither. I haven't slept all day long. Okay, good. Rosa hasn't deactivated Facebook yet. Well, now or never. This is really good. Milena can teach you Russian, Selma. Okay. Great, guys. This is really good. Okay, so a couple other examples here. You haven't felt love. I have drunk champagne. Nice. Okay. So the weather's been really good lately. Lately is one of these words that connect the past to the present. It includes now and the past. Okay. What have you done lately? All right. This is not true in Vancouver, by the way. The weather has not been good lately. Or what have you done today so far? So again, present perfect with so far. All right. Even though it's only 11 o'clock, I've already eaten lunch. So already often is used to show something that happens maybe earlier than people think, right? Shubham is saying lately, recently is the same. Yeah, good for you, right? Have you seen him recently? Have you seen him lately? Good. French Leo, is that your resolution? You have decided to master English by the end of this year. Okay, that's a good resolution. It's been cold lately. Christina, where are you? It's been cold. I've gone to the cinema. I've stopped drinking beer. That sounds. Oh yeah, you want B-E-E-R, Vivek, because you wrote bear there. Okay, this is good, guys. Really good. Oh, and one more. I know what to do because it has happened before. This has happened before. So all of these words connect the past to the present. Really good. Okay. Now we also, when we're using present perfect, talk about what we call unfinished time periods, little periods of time that are still happening now. Okay, so for example, today, this week, this year, this class. Okay, so today it's only 9:30 or something here. So today is unfinished. This week, it's Friday for me, so this week is unfinished. This year is only 1 week old, so it is unfinished. And of course, this class is still continuing, so it is unfinished time. So we often use the present perfect in these time periods that are connected to the present. Okay? You do have to be a little bit careful with this, though, and I'll tell you why in a second. Okay? So I haven't seen John today. Okay? So today is not finished, but you're talking about things that may have happened before now. Okay? So you're going to use the present perfect. What have you done today is my next question. You can put that in the chat. What have you done today so far, if today isn't over? Okay? He hasn't spent much money this year. He hasn't spent much money this year. Right? Well, that's not much of an accomplishment. It's only 6 days into the year, though. I guess I haven't spent much money this year either, but it's January 6th. So, good. And this class has been so boring. Okay, so this class is not finished yet. Hopefully this is not true, but if it is, you can say that. Or this class has been so much fun for me. Oh yeah, Steve Lynn, you're looking for the mistake of the week. I know, there's a lot to talk about with the present perfect. I don't know if we're going to get to a mistake of the week today or not. We'll see if we have time. All right. Yeah, so this class has been so boring because the class isn't finished yet. Okay? Now the thing to be careful of with this is that your idea of if this time is finished or not can kind of change. Okay? Because sometimes you may say this morning, right? Okay, so if I say, let me be clear here. Let me get into the notes. If I say I haven't eaten breakfast this morning, or I didn't eat breakfast this morning. Now, sometimes students make the mistake of thinking that this is wrong. They say, oh, you can't say that. It has to be this. But that's not true. That's not true. Shaun's class has been interesting so far. Okay. Thank you. All right. So I haven't eaten breakfast this morning means it's still morning time. Right? It's still morning. I haven't eaten breakfast this morning. Morning is not finished. I didn't eat breakfast this morning means morning is finished. So maybe it's afternoon. Maybe it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon or something, right? Okay? So just be careful with that. I mean, today, if someone says, what did you do today? What did you do today? They might say this if it's nighttime, right? Because they kind of say like today versus tonight. They think the day is finished and now it's nighttime. Don't think that it's a mistake to say, what did you do today, right? For example, I always ask my son, what did you learn at school today? Okay, what did you learn at school today? What did you do at school today? Because when I ask this question, the day is finished. Day is finished. If I say, what have you done today? Question mark. The day is not finished yet. And that's the little difference. Melinda's saying exactly right. A connection between the present and the past. What did you do this month? Yeah. Now, knowledge is free is saying, this is a good example. So, what did you do this month? What did you do this month? Just be careful with this one, okay? Because right now, it's January 6th. So I wouldn't say this question, right? I wouldn't say, what did you do this month? Because we're so early in the month, right? But if it's at the end of the month, if the end of the month is approaching, if it's almost the end, you would say that, right? Otherwise, I would say, what have you done this month so far? All right. Vivek, you didn't learn anything. Yeah, well, that's unfortunate. All right, Hiryata got it. Good, okay. So, the first thing I was talking about, what did you do last year, right? And maybe next class we'll talk more specifically about past simple and present perfect and the difference there. Okay, so what we were talking about at the beginning of class, when I was talking about travel, we were talking about experience, right? We use the present perfect when you talk about your life, because your life, thankfully, is unfinished so far, right? Your life is continuing. Your life is an unfinished time period, okay? So if you talk about life experiences, right, you use the present perfect. And you're saying, yeah, it takes you so long to learn this tense. I know, it's complex. There are lots of little tiny rules in there that make it hard, okay? So the present perfect is life experience. Sirbas has jumped from a bridge 3 times. Okay, hopefully bungee jumping, I think. Yeah, life is, lucky you. Life is unfinished. So we use words like ever, never, and before. Ever, never, before to talk about life experience, right? Have you ever been to France, for example? I have never been to India. I have never been to Colombia. I've never been to South America. And I've never been to many Asian countries as well. I've never been to Africa either, right? These are experiences I have not had yet, yeah? But I would like to. And the same with before. So let's look at a couple examples here. Well, there you go. Have you ever been to France? Sirbas has never been to St. Petersburg. You should go to St. Petersburg. It's a very cool city. I liked it. Have you ever eaten at that restaurant? Or they've never seen snow before. Okay, this is all about life experience. So tell me, where have you been? What have you done? Or what's something you have never done in your life? What's a place that you've never been? Put that in the chat. Carol's been to Notre Dame once. Yeah, it's nice there. Abdurrahim has never visited Europe. Yeah, perfect. Well, hopefully, hopefully you will visit Europe someday, but your sentence was perfect. Oh, we got somebody from St. Petersburg in there. Tatyanishna. That's a hard word to say. Am I pronouncing your name right? It's from St. Petersburg. Right. Christina's never been to Thailand. Diari has never been to China. I'd like to go to China too. French Leo has never been to America. Anthony's never been anywhere. Akram's never been to Mars. Say never been to Mars, not in Mars. Never been to Sweden. All right. Well, hopefully you guys will get to go there someday. And now that kind of brings me to kind of the last thing in terms of indefinite past is the difference between been and gone. Okay, so we often use, when we want to talk about to go with the present perfect, right, going places, we often use gone or been, okay? I've never been to Canada. Philippe Del Rey is saying, I've never been to Canada, right? Now in this sentence, this is perfect. And in this sentence, when he says been, he's talking about going, right? In this case, been means to go, and that's what we often use with experience. If you say I've never gone to Canada, that's okay too. But it's very common to say that I've never been to Canada, right? Yeah, or have you ever? Yeah, good. But the main difference, and I'll put a slash here. Both of those are fine, but you have to be careful when you're not talking about experience. When you're talking about a past action with a present connection, sometimes been and gone are different, right? If you say Shaun has been to France versus Shaun has gone to France, just be careful of that little difference. What's the difference? Shaun has been to France, Shaun has gone to France. Right? Been as a state, gone as a place. Yeah, kind of Hideki, but we often use been to mean kind of to go to a place. I've been to Canada. Notice that we say to after been, right? But we wouldn't say I am to Canada or I was to Canada. But we can say I've been to Canada, right? Been is the past. Shaun is still there, Carol is saying. Well, in which one am I still there? Shaun has been to France, Shaun has gone to France. And Rosa is saying that means you're still there. Exactly. You've got it. You've got it. Yeah, right. So, been to France. I'm home now. I'm home now, or I'm somewhere else. I'm not in France now. And as you guys say, I'm still in France now. You say he has gone to France. Good stuff. Okay. So really what I'll say, because I know that a lot of people have been asking about the mistake of the week. I wasn't planning on doing a mistake of the week, but I've got one that I can do for you guys, okay? Because really, I haven't made you do any work yet, really, today. Not like I usually do, right? I've been talking this whole time. Yeah, hopefully it has been interesting for you. But what I'm going to do, for all of our premium subscribers, okay? All the premium subscribers, you'll notice that in Smrt, I am your teacher now. Okay? And just so we're clear, today we started Unit 7 in Smrt. Okay? We started Unit 7. I know that you finished Unit 5 last week, but the reason I skipped Unit 6, and I'll go back to Unit 6. Don't worry. But Unit 6 is all about the grammar is verb patterns. And just last month, I taught 2 classes on verb patterns. Right, I know Rosa's saying we didn't do exercises this class. I know, I've been talking too much. I'll get you guys to work next time. Okay? So because I did verb patterns just last month, I've taught that recently. Okay? I thought that we would skip to this, then we would go back. Okay? So, and what we're going to do for all the premium users, premium subscribers, okay? Well, let me go back there to me. This is my class, okay? And down here, I've created for you guys a new teacher blog. Look how fresh it is. I haven't posted anything yet, okay? I haven't posted anything yet, but I will post your homework on this blog. Okay, so I'm going to say for homework for the premium subscribers, go into Unit 7 and do the homework exercise from 7.1 present perfect indefinite past. You'll see all of the stuff that we talked about today, and you can go into the exercise. And for homework, you can do all of this stuff, all of this practice. That will keep you busy for a long time. Okay, and then you can share it with me. I will send you my email. French Leo saying he has already struggled. He has already struggled with the present perfect. Right, haven't we all? Okay. So I'm going to give you the homework for the premium subscribers, but for anybody who's not, I'll do a mistake of the week. I've got one up my sleeve here. Let me go in here. You guys want a mistake of the week? Here's one I haven't done yet. So let me go all the way down here. And before you guys run away, we can do one little mistake of the week. All right, so as you guys know, as anybody who's taken my class before knows, the mistake of the week, I'm going to put a sentence up on the screen, okay? And you have 5 seconds to find the mistake, and then I'm going to explain it, okay? So whoever finds the mistake first, all right, whoever finds it first is the fastest person on earth, okay, and the best student on the internet. Rahaf, you want me to make some jokes? Okay. I think I've tried to make a couple jokes today. No? All right. So here's the mistake of the week. Check it out. I'm going to leave the screen, find me the mistake, and then we'll talk about it before you guys run away. Okay? Here we go. Can you spot the mistake? There it is. Go for it. All right. Yeah, a couple people got it. This was a bit of a tricky one because usually I put some kind of grammar mistake or something in there, right, guys? But today I didn't. Today I messed around with the vocabulary, and I think Alejandra got it first, yay, and then Trey Brown came in second, I think. Trey Brown, you're the second fastest person on the internet, just behind Alejandra. And that's good, Alejandra, that you got it because this mistake, oh, Selma got it first, actually. sorry to crush your dreams there, but that was really good. Alejandra, I'm glad you got it because this mistake is a very common mistake for people who speak Spanish and I think Portuguese, as either one, maybe any kind of Latin language. Okay? Christina got it too. Yeah, there you go. So the problem with this sentence, and I'll go back to my fireball here. Here it comes. Is this guy right here, sensible? Okay, no, I don't like that fireball. Get rid of that. That's the mistake. Sensible is the wrong word. Now this is something that causes problems for people who study English. This is what we call a false friend. Okay, a false friend. Now sensible is an adjective, and it's fine, but it's the wrong word. Now the reason it's a problem is that this word looks very similar to a word in Spanish, maybe Portuguese, perhaps French as well, right? But the meaning in those languages of sensible, if I'm saying it right, okay, is not the same as English. So this is what we call a false friend. They look the same, but they're not, right? So they're a false friend like these, I don't know, these are false friends here, yeah? So in Spanish we use, exactly, sensible. Now sensible in English means a person who thinks before they do things. Somebody who is reasonable, someone who is logical, someone who doesn't get too emotional, right? A sensible idea is one that makes sense. It has reason, okay? But in Spanish, I think this word means sensitive, okay? Sensible, sensitive. These are not the same. In English, sensible means, as I said, it makes sense. It's mature, it's reasonable, it's logical, okay? Sensitive means, depending on the context, but in this sentence, it means someone who is emotional, someone who is easily hurt by something. So in this sentence, John is very sensitive about the weight he has gained. Now, there's your present perfect there that I put in there by accident. I didn't even think about that. But that's a good present perfect because now he's heavy now because he has gained weight, and now he is sensitive about the weight he has gained, okay? Exactly, emotionally sensitive. Now, sensitive isn't always a bad thing, right? We talk about artists being sensitive, right? You need to be in touch with your emotions if you're sensitive. Or things are sensitive to heat. Some people are more sensitive to smell or taste or touch. Okay? But in this case, you want sensitive, not sensible. So you got to be careful of those false friends. Be careful when you're translating. You may get tripped up on the wrong vocabulary. Okay? But that's it for me. I have had fun today. I have enjoyed this lesson so far. But now it's over. Vivek is being sensitive. Rahaf is still asking me to make jokes. Well, yeah, I'll try to make more jokes next time, Rahaf. Okay? I'll work on my material. You want to laugh? Well, I'm laughing. I'm having a good time. All right, I'll try to be funnier for you next week, Rahaf. Okay? Give me time. I'll get there. All right. So that's it for me, guys. I've enjoyed the class, as always. And as I said, for the indefinite future, I will be teaching this level class. Next week, I'm going to get you guys to do more work in class. I don't want to just talk all class. I don't like the sound of my voice that much. Okay. You guys are asking for more jokes. Your teacher's not Jim Carrey. No, I'm not Jim Carrey, right? I'm not. I try to be. I'll try to be Jim Carrey next time. And my coffee is cold now, yeah. Okay, so thank you guys. As I said, if you're in Russia, if you're in Ukraine, if you're in any of the I think the Balkan countries that celebrate Orthodox Christmas, Merry Christmas to you. If you're in another place, just have a nice weekend, all right? I'll see you next week. Premium subscribers, as I've said, I will put your homework on the blog. Do the homework, send it to me, and I'm gonna correct it for you. Okay? I'm fine without jokes. Yeah. All right. And the Epiphany. That's right. Today is the Epiphany. Exactly right. Okay. Okay, guys. It's always a pleasure for me to come in here and teach you. Keep practicing. Keep telling your friends. Get more people in here. Obviously, get more people. And if you're interested in being a premium subscriber, you can contact Zach. Follow the link that's going to appear after this video. Okay? So, yeah, I'm out of here. Okay, have a nice weekend. See you this time next week, guys. Until then, bye-bye. Hi, everyone. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel. Also, if you want the full experience of being a student in a Smrt Live class with things like homework and teacher feedback, follow the link and become a premium subscriber. Also, if you want to see more videos from this class, check out our playlist.